Good evening and welcome to Sunset News this Wednesday evening. As always, we bring you news, community stories, economics, weather and sports. I am Diana Master. In the news tonight, the national minimum wage of 18 Namibian dollars per hour comes into effect on the 1st of January 2025, and the Namibian Union for Food and Related Workers, NAFAO, is calling on all employers to comply. Jacob Pender, the union's general secretary, emphasized that this wage increase, announced in Government Gazette 8409 in August of 2024, is a significant step toward improving the living standards of Namibian workers. While the full 18 Namibian dollars per hour will apply to most workers by 2027, some sectors will see phased increases. Farm workers will receive 14 Namibian dollars per hour starting in January 2025, reaching 18 Namibian dollars by 2027. Domestic helpers will see a similar incremental rise from 12 Namibian dollars in 2025 to 15 Namibian dollars in 2026, before reaching the full 18 Namibian dollars by 2027. These increases are separate from any other benefits which cannot be used to offset the minimum wage. Pender stressed that this new law marks a fundamental right for workers and aims to boost living standards, providing better access to education and healthcare, while also contributing to economic growth and a more equitable society. He urged the government and relevant stakeholders to enforce the minimum wage, warning that employers failing to comply could face fines or the revocation of trade licenses. The government conducted extensive consultations on the wage increase last year, and with no objections reported, Pender asserted there is no excuse for any employer not to pay the new rate. He also reassured that the wage hike would not lead to widespread job losses. NAFAO and other unions under the National Union for Namibian Workers, NUNW, are asking workers to report any non-compliance to their offices for further action. Health authorities are increasingly concerned as human metapneumovirus HMPV cases, which spiked in China in late December, are now spreading to India and several African countries. Namibia's Health Minister Kalumbi Shangula addressed the situation on Tuesday, assuring the public that his ministry is monitoring the developments closely. He confirmed that Namibia is ready to respond should infections occur in Southern Africa, drawing on the lessons learned from the COVID-19 pandemic. Minister Shangula also highlighted that no global health organization such as the WHO has declared HMPV infections a public health emergency at this time. HMPV causes symptoms similar to the common cold and flu, but it can lead to severe pneumonia, particularly in children, the elderly, and those with weakened immune systems. Now, while the virus was first discovered 25 years ago, recent reports show a rise in cases. In India, 8 confirmed infections were reported on Wednesday. Botswana's health authorities also issued a statement reassuring the public that while they are closely monitoring the situation, there is no reason for panic. In addition to India and Botswana, cases of HMPV have been reported in Malaysia, Kazakhstan, and the United States, where infections usually occur each winter, but the current wave is slightly more intense than usual. In Germany, however, HMPV infections remain low, with respiratory illnesses mainly caused by SARS-CoV-2 and rhinoviruses, as reported by the Robert Koch Institute. Health experts continue to watch the situation closely, but stress that there is no immediate cause for alarm. In our next story, following the November 2024 national elections, Namibia's ruling SWAPO party and the Popular Democratic Movement (PDM) will both face significant cuts in government funding due to a loss of parliamentary seats. SWAPO will lose 13 million Namibian dollars annually after dropping 12 seats, while the PDM will see a reduction of 12 million Namibian dollars after losing 11 seats. Government funding for political parties is allocated quarterly based on the number of seats held in parliament. SWAPO, which had been receiving 69.3 million Namibian dollars annually from its 63 National Assembly seats, will see a sharp decline in its revenue. This sum also includes 30 million Namibian dollars for its 27 National Council seats, giving the party a substantial income. However, the loss of seats means the party will no longer benefit from large allocations, significantly impacting its finances. The PDM, which had received 20.2 million Namibian dollars annually, including 2.2 million Namibian dollars from its National Council seats, will now face a drastic reduction after its performance in the election. The party secured only 5 seats in the National Assembly, resulting in a major loss in government funding. Other parties, including the Independent Patriots for Change (IPC) and the Landless People's Movement (LPM), will receive varying amounts based on their seats. The IPC with 20 National Assembly seats will get 22 million Namibian dollars annually, while the LPM, which increased its seats by 1, will see a slight increase in funding. Political commentator Ndumba Kamwanya noted that these financial losses will affect the operational effectiveness of both SWAPO and PDM. He also pointed out that SWAPO's declining parliamentary presence since 2019 signals a drop in popularity. Kamwanya warned that the party must address its struggles if it hopes to recover, especially in light of upcoming regional and local elections. While SWAPO still has significant resources, Kamwanya stressed that the PDM's reduced income poses a serious challenge for the opposition party's continued influence. As both parties prepare for the upcoming elections, their ability to adapt to these financial constraints will be crucial in shaping their future political fortunes. The long-awaited results for the Namibian Senior Secondary Certificate Ordinary NSSCO and Advanced Subsidiary Levels NSSCAS will be announced on Tuesday, January the 14th. The Ministry of Education, Arts and Culture confirmed the release date, with Minister Esther Anna Nyipondoka set to officially announce the results at a ceremony in the Government Office Park Auditorium. In a statement issued on December 18th, the Education Ministry emphasized its commitment to delivering fair and accurate results. Executive Director of the Ministry, Sanet Steenkamp, stated, "Our aim is to provide genuine and credible results to the Namibian nation." Steenkamp also encouraged parents as well as part-time and full-time candidates to prepare for the announcements. The results ceremony will highlight the top 10 performing schools and learners alongside key regional performances and subject statistics. Steenkamp reassured the public that the marking process went smoothly without any significant issues. For those unable to attend in person, the announcement will be broadcast live on MyZone starting at 8 a.m. on Tuesday. Viewers can watch the event on DSTV channel 285, GoTV channel 25, or via the oneup2.com platform. Further details, including the broadcast link, will be available on MyZone social media closer to the date. Candidates can also access their results by texting #exams to 085-785-6231 on WhatsApp and following the steps provided by the Synergy chatbot. Now, closing off our top stories, the Electoral Commission of Namibia, ECN, is working to finalize payments for returning officers and private vehicle owners who were involved in last year's elections. Due to a shortage of vehicles, the ECN had to hire private cars for use during the 2024 presidential and National Assembly elections, with vehicle owners receiving 1,350 Namibian dollars per day for their services. Although the original agreement stipulated a 30-day settlement period after the elections, many vehicle owners have yet to receive payment. ECN spokesperson Malauli Siluka confirmed the delay but reassured the public that payments are now being processed. "We apologize for the delay in payment, but the calculations have been completed and payments will be set out next week if there are no further issues," he said. Saluka also mentioned that payments to polling officers have been fully processed and most returning officers have received their payments. For those whose payments encountered issues, he assured that the processing would be completed by the end of this week. The ECN has promised to resolve all outstanding payments as soon as possible and apologized for any inconvenience caused to the vehicle staff, owners, and other staff. That brings us to the end of our top stories. We'll be right back with our Community Talk segment.
Connection. It's in the human touch, the feeling of belonging. It inspires us and empowers us, creates clarity from complexity. It starts new conversations, unlocks the power of advice, and makes an impact on your life. At Alex Forbes, we pioneer insight to provide you with advice that connects your decisions of today to your impact tomorrow.
Welcome back to Sunset News. Getting into our Community Talk segment, Jacob Penda, General Secretary of the Namibian Union for Food and Related Workers, NAFAO, has urged all employers in Namibia to comply with the new national minimum wage of 80 Namibian dollars per hour, effective the 1st of January 2025. He calls for strict enforcement, including fines and license revocations for businesses that fail to adhere, as outlined in Government Gazette 8409, as we highlighted earlier in our top stories. Ogeto Greg was there.
To ensure full compliance, we would like to appeal to the Minister of Labour, in collaboration with the Office of the Labour Commissioner, to establish a dedicated team to diligently monitor adherence to the minimum wage order and implement strict penalties, including fines and the revocation of a trade license for non-complying employers. Moreover, we also call upon other stakeholders, include the Social Security Commission and the Namibia Revenue Agency (NAMRA) to join us in raising awareness about the national minimum wage and its importance to workers' welfare and economic growth.
Coming up next in economic news, Gemfields is urging Zambia to reverse a new export tax on emeralds, warning it could hurt the sector's growth. Meanwhile, global stock markets are in turmoil as concerns over US inflation and rising bond yields send currencies like the euro and yen to multi-month lows. Stay with us for the full details.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Headlining our economic news, colored gemstone producer Gemfields is appealing to the Zambian government to reverse the recent reintroduction of a 15% export tax on emeralds, warning that the levy could harm the sector's sustainability and deter investment. The export tax, reinstated on January 1st after being suspended in 2019, applies to the Southern African nation, the world's second largest emerald producer after Colombia. In a statement, Gemfields announced plans to engage with Zambian authorities to seek either a suspension or complete removal of the tax, citing potential negative impacts on the gemstone industry. The company, based in Guernsey, operates the Kagem Emerald Mine in Zambia, one of the largest in the world, and also owns the Fabergé jewelry brand and a ruby mine in Mozambique. Kagem, 75% owned by Gemfields and 25% by the Zambian government, has contributed significantly to the country's economy. In 2023, the mine allocated 31% of its revenues to the government through mineral royalties, corporate taxes, and dividends. Between 2009 and 2023, Kagem generated $1.1 billion in cumulative emerald sales revenue, underscoring its importance to Zambia's gemstone sector. Gemfields has expressed concern that the export tax could undermine the sector's long-term growth and discourage investment in one of Zambia's key industries. Global stock markets stumbled on Wednesday as renewed concerns about US inflation and rising bond yields fueled a sell-off in equities, sent the dollar climbing, and pushed currencies like the euro, yen, and yuan to multi-month lows. European markets followed suit after losses in Asia and on Wall Street, with Euro Stoxx 50 and German DAX futures dipping 0.3 and 0.23% respectively. Rising bond yields are expected to weigh on European tech stocks, which recently hit a 5-month high. The sell-off comes amid growing expectations that the Federal Reserve will remain cautious in cutting rates after data revealed a stable US economy and labor market. The Fed has projected just 2 rate cuts for 2025, half of what was earlier anticipated. Investors are now pricing the first cut for July. Meanwhile, the European Central Bank is expected to make deeper cuts, with traders forecasting 99 basis points of easing this year, despite a December acceleration in Eurozone inflation. This divergence has kept the euro near its 2-year low, currently trading at $1.035375, with concerns it could drop further due to tariff uncertainties under President-elect Donald Trump, who takes office on January 20th. The yen fell to 158.12 per dollar, nearing levels last seen in July when Japan intervened to stabilize the currency. In China, the yuan hit a fresh 16-month low, while stock indexes like the CSI 300 and Hong Kong's Hang Seng dropped over 1%, marking a shaky start to the year. despite regulatory attempts to calm investor nerves. On Wall Street, all three major indexes closed lower after U.S. job data showed unexpected strength in job openings but softer hiring. Analysts believe this reinforces the Fed's slow approach to rate cuts. Benchmark 10-year Treasury yield surged to 4.699%, their highest since April, boosting the dollar index to 108.65, near last week's two-year high. Looking ahead, Friday's U.S. payroll report and the inflation data due on January 15th will be critical in shaping rate expectations. Analysts predict 160,000 jobs were added in December, down from 227,000 in November, with markets bracing for further shifts in rate cut belts. In commodities, oil prices ticked up, with Brent crude rising 0.67% to $77.57 per barrel, and U.S. West Texas Intermediate gaining 0.85% to $74.88 per barrel. Now let's take a look at the economic indicators. The Namibian dollar trades at 22.92 against the British pound, 19.09 against the euro, 18.09 to the US dollar, and 2 Namibian dollars and 50 cents buys you 1 Chinese yuan. All commodities are up, copper by 1.12%, now trading at $4.16 per pound. Now, the U.S. has officially accused Sudan's Rapid Support Forces of committing genocide amid the ongoing civil war, which has devastated the nation. Meanwhile, California faces a fierce battle against fast-moving wildfires, with tens of thousands forced to evacuate. Stay tuned for more details as we head into international news right after this break.
I'm sure you've heard the news, and Namibia is calling. And it's time to answer with a smile. From the rolling sand dunes of Sossusvlei to the wildlife wonders of Etosha National Park, Namibia is a treasure trove of natural beauty and adventure. With Enjoy, booking the most renowned lodges is as easy as a desert breeze. Picture yourself sipping coffee on a deck, watching the sunrise. Paint the sky in hues of gold and orange. Or how about a thrilling safari, capturing memories that'll last a lifetime? Our easy-to-use website hosts the most beautiful lodges Namibia has to offer. Whether you crave luxury or a cozy hideaway, we've got you covered. So pack your bags and let's turn your dream adventure into reality. Namibia awaits, and with Enjoy, your perfect stay is just a click away.
Tonight in our international news segment, the Biden administration announced Tuesday that the Sudanese paramilitary group Rapid Support Forces and its proxies are committing genocide in their brutal civil war with the country's military, a conflict that has killed tens of thousands and created the world's largest current humanitarian crisis. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said the RSF's atrocities, initially categorized as war crimes and ethnic cleansing in December of 2023, have escalated to genocide. He cited systematic attacks targeting ethnic groups, including the murder of men, boys and infants, and the use of sexual violence against women and girls. Civilians fleeing the violence have also been targeted, while others are denied access to essential supplies. The U.S. Treasury Department followed the announcement by imposing sanctions on RSF leader Mohammad Hamdan Daglo Moussa, also known as Hemedti, and 7 RSF-owned companies in the United Arab Emirates, UAE. These include entities linked to gold smuggling from Sudan. The UAE, a U.S. ally, has faced allegations of arming the RSF, though it denies these claims. The RSF and Sudanese military have been at war since April 2023, with over 28,000 confirmed deaths, millions displaced, and famine spreading across regions. Some estimates suggest the death toll may be far higher. Blinken stressed that the genocide determination was not meant to favor either side, but to push for accountability. The RSF and allied militias have systematically targeted civilians in unimaginable ways, he stated. Experts, including John Prendergast from watchdog group The Sentry, commended the administration's move, calling it a critical step toward justice and leverage in ceasefire negotiations. The U.S. Holocaust Memorial Museum also praised the declaration as a grim acknowledgement of crimes long overlooked. Neither the RSF nor Emirati officials responded immediately to requests for comment. Now, California firefighters are battling multiple fast-moving wildfires fueled by strong Santa Ana winds, which have destroyed homes, clogged roadways, and forced tens of thousands to evacuate across Los Angeles. Officials warn worsening conditions could escalate the crisis. One fire erupted Tuesday near a nature preserve northeast of Los Angeles, spreading rapidly and forcing a senior living center to evacuate residents in wheelchairs and hospital beds. Another blaze engulfed Pacific Palisades, a celebrity enclave, causing chaotic evacuations as residents abandoned cars to flee on foot. Bulldozers cleared vehicles to allow emergency crews access. The fire spread to Malibu, leaving several injured, including a firefighter. Governor Gavin Newsom declared a state of emergency, cautioning that the worst winds, gusting up to 100 miles per hour, were expected overnight. Nearly 167,000 residents lost power, and firefighting aircraft were grounded due to dangerous conditions. President Joe Biden canceled plans to leave Los Angeles, instead receiving a briefing on the crisis. FEMA approved funding to support firefighting efforts. The Pacific Palisades fire, which began Tuesday morning, destroyed homes and businesses across 4.6 square miles. Residents described harrowing scenes of exploding transformers, engulfed neighborhoods, and frantic escapes. Cultural landmarks and schools were impacted, with vegetation burning near the Getty Villa and damage reported at Palisades Charter High School. As crews fight to contain the fires, officials brace for continued challenges amid dry, windy conditions that have left Southern California dangerously vulnerable. Now let's take a look at the weather predictions. Katima Mulilo can expect some showers today. On Thursday. Maximum temperatures expected to hit 27 degrees Celsius and minimum temperatures expected to drop to 17 degrees Celsius. Here in Windhoek, partly cloudy skies are expected. Maximum temperatures to hit 32 degrees Celsius and minimum temperatures to drop to 20 degrees Celsius. Looking at Aranos, bright and clear skies are expected. Maximum temperatures of 35 degrees Celsius to be expected and minimum temperatures of 23 degrees Celsius. Over in Walvis Bay, maximum temperatures of 22 degrees Celsius are expected and minimum temperatures of 16 degrees Celsius are to be expected. Stay with us as after the break we bring you news headlining the world of sport.
Welcome to Namibia, where adventure meets tranquility. With Enjoy, you have access to a wide range of accommodations to suit every traveler's taste and budget. Experience the finest dining and hospitality Namibia has to offer. Booking your dream accommodation is just a few clicks away with Enjoy. Join thousands of happy travelers who have trusted Enjoy for their Namibian getaway. Your gateway to unforgettable Namibian adventures. Visit us today at enjoy.my.na.
Starting off our sports stories, Nigeria has named 47-year-old Eric Chell as their new head coach, entrusting him with the task of reviving the Super Eagles' struggling 2026 World Cup qualifying campaign. Chell, who previously managed Mali for 2 years, guided them to the quarterfinals of the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations, where they were eliminated on penalties by hosts Ivory Coast. Born in Abidjan, Chell earned 5 caps for Mali as a player and had a club career in France. The Super Eagles currently face an uphill battle in Group C, sitting fourth with only 3 points from their first 4 matches. They trail Rwanda, South Africa and Benin, who have each 7 points. Nigeria's World Cup qualifying journey resumes in March with a crucial away match against Rwanda, followed by a home game against Zimbabwe. To secure a spot in the 2026 World Cup in North America, Nigeria must top their group or aim to be among the 4 best runners-up who will compete for an additional place through continental playoffs. Chele's appointment signals a fresh start as the Super Eagles fight to reclaim their place among football's elite. In our next story, France's longest-serving national team coach Didier Deschamps has announced he will step down after the 2026 World Cup. Speaking to TF1, Deschamps said it was time to move on after more than a decade at the helm. In 2026, it will be over. I've done my time with passion and dedication, but one has to know when to stop, Deschamps stated. He emphasized his priority remains keeping France among the elite in world football. Deschamps, who took charge in 2012, led Le Bleu to a World Cup victory in 2018 and a Nations League title in 2021. He also guided them to the 2022 World Cup final, where they fell to Argentina in a thrilling penalty shootout. The French Football Federation FFF confirmed Deschamps will not seek to renew his contract, but declined to comment on potential successors. However, Zinedine Zidane, a 1998 World Cup winning teammate of Deschamps, is widely seen as the favorite to take over. Zidane, who achieved legendary status as a coach with Real Madrid, has expressed interest in managing the French national team. FFF President Philippe Diallo said it was too early to discuss replacements, emphasizing respect for Deschamps and his ongoing tenure. Didier has a contract until 2026, and the question of his succession does not arise today, Diallo told L'Equipe. Deschamps' legacy continues and includes not only his trophies, but also his role as one of the few individuals to win World Cup as both a player and a coach. His departure will mark the end of an era for French football. And with that, we have come to the end of today's broadcast. Do remember Sunset News screens on DSTV channel 285 and GoTV channel 25 every weekday from 7:30 to 8 p.m. I am Diana Master, and this has been Sunset News. Don't end your day without us.